Welcome. This video is about how to create a travel kit so that you can paint on vacation. Have you ever found that there's a beautiful moment or scene you want to capture on vacation in a painting rather than a photograph? Well, this video teaches you what to put together so that you have a lightweight, portable travel kit that will fit in your suitcase. So let's get started. So the first thing I take with me when I travel is this pencil pouch, which has brushes, pencils, and markers. You don't need this many brushes. I just take them so I have options. And I find that if I were to only take the bare minimum brushes, I would take these 3 brushes, this one, a detail brush, and a flat brush. So this one is a number 6. It's a little more cylindrical. I use it for mixing paints. This one is a 0, which is a fine detail brush for feathers, fur, leaves, lines, perfect for detail. And then I have a half brush, which is a 1/2 inch flat brush that I use to apply a lot of paint very quickly. You can also achieve some angles with it, but it's great for filling in backgrounds very rapidly. I also have 2 pencils. One is an HB, which is like a number 2 pencil, so what you're used to writing with. And I have a 5B, which is much darker. I like this because I can see the lines when I'm painting, and I usually paint over them anyway, but it helps guide me. So I usually only need 2 pencils, that's all I really take. And then I bring a marker to sign paperworks. Like if I do a painting on paper, I can sign it with a Prismacolor marker like this. It's a water-based marker. Or if I'm painting on canvas, I'll use a Sharpie, because it's just, I find the best solution for painting on canvas. One more thing that I have in my pencil kit, or pencil pouch, is a water brush. So the way this works is you fill this end with water, and then as you push, you squeeze water out the tip, and this helps re-wet your brush. And this way you don't have to keep dipping your brush into water, like you don't need to do that with a water pen. You can just simply keep re-wetting it as you go, and it helps you go really fast. This is perfect for watercolor, gouache, or something like walnut ink, if you want to just apply a very thin layer very quickly. It helps sketch fast. So those are what I take in the pencil pouch. If you can't find this pouch, which you can find online, I got it from a friend who brought it back for me from Hong Kong, but if you can't find it, you can use what you've got, which I highly recommend. I have this pencil pouch from when I was a kid. It's a perfect length for brushes and pencils, so I use this sometimes. You can get a makeup bag and fill it up with pencils and brushes as well. Try to use what you have. You probably have something like that around your home. So the other thing that I bring is this little Tupperware. It has a seal-tight lid with the 4 tabs and then rubber around. And then I take 4 paints with me. I take red, blue, yellow, and white. Because out of those 4 colors, I can make all the other colors that I need, including black, which I made here, and brown that I made here. This kind of shows you all the colors that I can make with just these 4 paints. And I can make more than this, but this was just, for me to show someone all the colors that were possible using the 4 paints. Use white to make a lighter color like this or this, and then use water to lighten in this way. So it's a little bit more transparent. You can see the paper through it. And I'm gonna have other videos about that, so you'll see. What's great about this little container is that you can just keep the paints from getting squeezed by anything else in your luggage, because they have a lot of space, and you're conserving space by putting them in something that's already gonna take up space and is hollow inside. I find that in security lines, as long as I just take this out of my suitcase, there's no problem. It's clear, so they can see what's in it, and everything is under 0.5 ounces. Each tube is 0.47 ounces. I like these small paints because I don't have to check my bag with them. If you have any liquids over 2 fluid ounces, they will confiscate them at security. So this is ideal, especially if you're carrying on. I usually carry on. So what to paint on? You can paint in a little sketchbook like this. I have these. These actually have perforated pages, so you can tear them out if you paint something and you want to keep it. They're very thin though, so I recommend this more for sketching and planning, or jotting down notes and ideas. But if you want something really small, you could tear it out and frame it. The same thing goes for this, except this notebook does not have perforation. So because the pages are bound, you would have to use an X-Acto knife or scissors to remove the pages, but it's a nice size for framing. What I usually do to limit weight in my suitcase, since I am usually carrying on, is I put sheets of paper in this plastic folder. And that way it has a little bit firmer protection around it. I really like those folders that have the zipper on the edge that are fully contained. I'm just showing you this because it's what I have right now. And it's easy for me to take sheets of paper because I have this notebook that has perforation on each page, and I can just rip out paper. Now you may be wondering how to re-wet your brushes. I mean, there's things that you're gonna probably use when you get there. So I usually find a container. This is a container I happen to have from a household project, so I use it for my brushes when I paint at home. But you could find a jar, you could find some empty vessel, or if you go to a place that has plastic cups for water, then you can just take your plastic cup home from the cafe or restaurant you're eating at and use it for your paint when you get back to your hotel or Airbnb. I recommend, if you can find paper towels or brown paper bags, put those down on the surface you're working on, so that you don't damage anything at the place you're staying. And I usually set myself up kind of like this. Oh, one thing I forgot to say is that I use this as my palette. So I'll squeeze paint out onto here and make a palette out of it. You can squeeze some paint out there. You can also re-wet the paint that's already on there if you want to use that, or you can wash it off so you can start fresh. It's up to you. So then I have my palette. Sometimes I also use the bottom of this as a palette, so then I have options. Plastic makes a really great surface for paint as a palette. So does glass, so does ceramic. I've used paper before though, out of necessity. Like when I painted this, I used brown paper bag as my surface cover and as my palette. So use what you've got. If you have limited tools available, try to find what you can. Try to recycle as much as possible. You can re-wet gouache. Let me just show you this. You can re-wet gouache to like make wet paint again. And so now I have this brown to work with. I don't have to waste it. Okay, so let's go over everything that I have in my kit. The pencil pouch with the brushes and the pencils in it, and markers. The Tupperware with paints. The little red notebook. Doesn't have to be red. And the sheets of paper for bigger work when I'm there in a plastic folder. So this is super lightweight, definitely less than a pound, and it all fits really nicely in my suitcase. So that's all you need to make all the colors, to make any painting you desire, to capture the moment, and I wish you a really great time out there in the field. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel. I'll be releasing a lot more videos with tips like this. And until next time, you can follow me on Instagram. I look forward to seeing you back here. Have a wonderful time painting.